Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Crypto Uncensored podcast. This is a brand new podcast project that me and my friend Paul have decided to start to help educate people about cryptocurrency. Paul, can you hear me?
Absolutely, Sean. This is so awesome, pretty exciting. Yeah, folks. So Sean and I decided what we were going to do is we were going to put together this podcast, just so that we can discuss some of the crypto projects that are passionate to us. We're going to be getting on guests. We got some guys lined up, and moving forward, what we're going to be doing is just sharing our ideas about crypto, and some of the things that are close to us that we enjoy, what we enjoy about crypto, and so on, and share it with all of you out there. Hopefully, you guys are going to get a lot of value out of this. But let's kick this off by Sean, tell us, how did you get into crypto? I love hearing people's like how they got started. Everybody's got a different story. I want to hear yours.
The way I got started with cryptocurrency is I was doing affiliate marketing and I was selling advertising, solo ads, pay-per-click type ads. I was sending, or basically helping other marketers, other people in the network marketing industry, learn how to get traffic sent to their business, and then in combination with selling them a traffic package, I would also teach them a little bit about how to set up a YouTube channel or how to just set up a basic like sales page. That way, when this traffic came to their business, they had some stuff set up so that the traffic would actually convert into a YouTube subscriber or into a Facebook friend or into an Instagram follower or into a sale for their business. So I was just kind of teaching people how to get it set up like that. This is back when primarily most of the network marketing space was like health and wellness products, but cryptocurrency was just barely starting to finagle its way in. And I had this customer base of people that were buying traffic, and they were at first just paying with PayPal. But then what happened is they started paying with Bitcoin. So I had a commission balance now in Bitcoin that was not there before. So in order for me to withdraw this new commission, I had to figure out how to set up like a Bitcoin wallet. And the first thing I did is I set up a Coinbase. That was the first one I set up, is the Coinbase exchange. And then I set up the Exodus wallet and like the Jax wallet. Those were like the three main things people were using back then, was Exodus, Jax, and Coinbase. So I withdrew this Bitcoin. It was sitting in my Coinbase wallet. And 2 weeks later, the value of that Bitcoin doubled. When I withdrew the Bitcoin, it was like $450 per coin. And then it literally just went to like $800 a coin out of nowhere. So that really caught my attention. So I decided to dive into it. I was like, well, I wanted to know why this just doubled in value. What made that happen? And then I learned about the decentralization. Then I learned about the self custody wallets. I learned about how it's this new payment network that exists independently of the central banks and the governments, and there's nothing that the banks or the governments can do to stop a transaction. And that's what really caught my attention and basically made me make this decision to go like 100% in on this new technology. I just thought, this is like liberating to the human race. This is very impactful. This is very disruptive. And I just saw that this was going to be the future of our monetary systems.
Mm. Yeah. So my story is actually very similar in that I was also buying and selling traffic. A lot of the guys in the affiliate sort of arena knew me as being like a solo ad guy. Um, I used to sell like a lot of clicks, and I'd first been approached. Well, not approached because it makes it sound like someone was trying to get me into Amway, but someone had tried to tell me in 2011. I'd moved from South Africa to the UK in 2010, and 2011 someone tried to tell me about it, and like I didn't pay any attention. Now, like, um, are you familiar with MMOs, massive multi-online MMO RPGs like World of Warcraft?
Yeah, the video games, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, I know what those
I
are.
I'd spent a lot of time playing an MMO called the Old Republic, which was a Star Wars one. And guys used to, I never got into WoW, into World of Warcraft, but I mean, it was very similar. And guys used to mine, like they used to just set up little bots and whatever the case is and just mine these, like mines and then sell the resources to other players for real dollars, right? So when the first time that someone explained to me about Bitcoin, I genuinely thought that that's what they wanted me to do because they said, no, but you can use your computer to mine money on the internet. And it genuinely sounded like they were saying to me, go and play World of Warcraft, set up a whole bunch of accounts, mine gold, and then sell it to other people. Right. That's what I genuinely thought that they were trying to tell me to do. And I was like, oh, like this does not sound like fun. So, I mean, I didn't pay any attention to it. And then the following year, a buddy of mine moved over to the UK, and he was staying in my house while he was transitioning. And you know, the one night we got chatting, and he told me about Bitcoin. I mean, but I think he overdid it because he was telling me about darknet markets, and that was like just it was very overwhelming. But at that time, I'd just started doing a lot of affiliate stuff online, and I was kind of more interested in that than this funny internet money that he was trying to tell me about. And then a couple of years later, while I was living in the Philippines, selling clicks, selling my solo ads, like PayPal. It started probably about a month before that. They sent me an email saying that I need to send them a document explaining what my business model was. So I mean, I sent them like this most amazing letter trying to explain my business model to them. And then the one day I tried to log into my PayPal account, and dude, I had a lot of money in there. Like I don't want to give the figure, but it was in the tens of thousands. Um, and they froze my account. And they basically just said to me that they found me to be a risk. So what they're going to do is they're going to hold my money for 6 months, 180 days. And then at the end of that 180 days, if there were any refunds, then I could withdraw that money. So like I was in a panic because I mean, living in a foreign country, I couldn't open up a Payoneer. I didn't have the paperwork. I couldn't open up a bank account. So I mean, how was I supposed to work? Then I remembered that my buddy had told me about this Bitcoin thing. So I went back to him and I was like, dude, what is this? You know, can I use this Bitcoin thing to send and receive money? And he explained it to me. Like 4 hours, the guy just didn't stop typing on WhatsApp. Yeah, it was crazy. And I just soaked it all up. And then when he was done, I was like, wow, okay. You know, like, and I was wanting to kick myself because I had this preconceived misconception about what it was. And then, but he explained it to me properly and correctly. And then I was like, okay, well, this is a game changer. This is really going to change the world. And like you, I saw a lot of the same things. Like I saw this is a way to have sovereign control over your money. Like I had heard of guys having their bank account shut down. Okay, like a judge orders your bank account and your assets seized. There's nothing that you can do. Whereas Bitcoin broke that, and it allowed people to go like, this is my money and you can't touch it. It also gave people, I mean, complete sovereign reign, dude. Like it was like this whole idea of you having to go and ask the bank for permission to go and send money. You go to the bank and you tell them, I want to send $100,000 overseas. They're going to ask you a ton of questions. Okay. Whereas with Bitcoin, and it's going to cost a fortune, right? Whereas with Bitcoin, it like if I want to send you money right now, dude, like boom, you got it. Like it you know, I can send you Bitcoin 10 minutes time. It's going to clear. It's going to take one block, and it's going to cost me maybe $2 to send a huge amount of money. And you couldn't do that with banks without them asking all these questions. So that's what kind of appealed to me. And then it was like, but there's so much more that is possible. And then I started digging into things like smart contracts, and I just fell in love with crypto because of everything that it could do. Like, you know, um, because the way that I jumped into learning about smart contracts was because then Ethereum was now being spoken about, and I bought a ton of Ethereum. I mean, I'm talking thousands of Ethereum at $4, and then it went up to $8, and I sold my bag, and I thought I was the king. Like it is what it is, you know. Like Bitcoin, I started accumulating. It was under $400, like well under. I think when I when I first started receiving Bitcoin for solo ads, it was around 250. And also, same thing like you know, person would pay me because I didn't realize that it was something that was going to accumulate in value. I just saw it for the technology. Like this blockchain thing was phenomenal. But then like a person would pay me $100 for a solo ad, okay, and then the next morning it was now worth $108, and then a week later it was worth 110 because now we're starting to climb, right? Like after the first bear market that Bitcoin had. And I get also like you, I was like, I have to understand why, you know, what is this? And then slowly started getting into it. And then I fell into the trap of just chasing a lot of bad coins. So yeah, I learned my mistakes. And then in the beginning of 2017, I listened to a dude called Tim Draper say that Bitcoin was going to go to $10,000 that year. And I've got a tweet on my Twitter, um, and people can go search it out. But on the 1st of January 2017, Bitcoin was $1,000 that day, and I sent out a tweet that day saying Bitcoin just crossed $1,000, and this is only the beginning. Um, so yeah, it's crazy like how it's gone from then when I first got into it to where it is today. What are we sitting at? $67,000, 68. Oh, $68,000. Hello.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been a wild ride, but like I mean, I made mistakes like most people. Like I thought it was going to keep going up. 2017, you know, where it flew past $10,000, went all the way up to 19,000. I thought, no, this thing's going to carry on going, right? And then it slowly started going down and down. And with that, like some misery, man. Like I got miserable when Bitcoin tumbled. But then, you know, you start learning about the cycles and then realize that what goes down must come up, and what goes up must come down. And I try to avoid the same mistakes after that. And now we're sitting on the cusp of probably one of the biggest bull runs ever. I mean, when do those Ethereum ETFs start trading? Tomorrow
I
or
heard
Thursday?
I heard like
23rd.
within the next couple days. I mean, I don't know for sure. I just keep seeing the posts getting shared all over social media that it's like within the next couple days, these are going to the ETF
23rd. It's
are
tomorrow.
trading.
So this is like it's such a weird week for crypto because it's um so now Biden has just announced that he's not going to be running for second term, okay, which seemed to have an effect on the price. And at the same time, in the same week, we got the Ethereum ETFs coming out tomorrow. So there's you know a lot of interest there. And then the Bitcoin conference in Nashville, which starts on Thursday, and one of the guest speakers is Donald Trump. So this is going to be a crazy week, and I'd like to see what Bitcoin is going to be doing. You know, Friday through the weekend. I don't know if there's going to be massive spikes over the weekend, but if there is going to be any action, it will probably be on Friday, Thursday, Friday, and then Monday. You know, so it's like I'm just watching. I'm not doing anything at the moment, other than just trading a little bit, but nothing major because I just want to see what's going to happen. It's super, super interesting. Like, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, we have so many dynamics at play that could pump the market or crash the market. You know, when you have a market like crypto, which I think is only around a $2.5 trillion market cap, it's very easily manipulated by central bankers, hedge funds, and influencers. You know, you got people like Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Michael Saylor. You have these people that have so much influence that just a Twitter post can can pump a certain digital asset in this market. And then on the flip side, you got these central bankers like BlackRock and these big hedge funds. Well, I mean, BlackRock's the biggest hedge fund, but you got
Mhm.
these, these big financial institutions that are literally sitting on trillions of dollars in assets, and they've been accumulating billions and billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum and these other cryptocurrencies. So you got these, they're called whales. These guys can move the market anytime they want. They also own and control all the mainstream media. So if they really wanted to, they could use that power and influence to trigger a big upward movement in the market, or they could use that power and influence to crash the market 20, 30% right now if they wanted to. So I feel like we're still in the early phases of this. It's so early because it's so small. It's only market cap combined of all cryptos like 2.5 trillion. But you got the Forex market doing like $1 trillion a day just in trading volume. You got all these
Mm.
other markets that are so much bigger that I just think it's kind of difficult to predict what's going to happen in crypto because it's still so small and there's still so many people that can literally just, pull strings from behind the scenes and manipulate this market.
Yeah. So two things that I think are bullish, if you want to call them signals. Elon Musk updated his Twitter profile, laser eyes. And then today, well, I don't know if it actually came out yesterday, but there was a piece on CNBC where they were speaking about the possibility of the USA starting to adopt Bitcoin as a reserve currency. If that happens and the USA uses it as a reserve currency, then the world will follow using it as a global reserve currency. And we see, there's already countries like El Salvador
Yep.
that have adopted it fully. It's legal tender. Um, so if those two things like fall in place, we're gonna see a lot of huge interest. Now, we've been speaking for years about the possibility of institutional money coming into the space, and that's what we're seeing, right? A lot of people think that this run up to 70,000 that we had a couple of months ago was because of the halving, and I don't believe that at all. I just believe that was because of the institutional money coming in through ETFs. It wasn't only institutional money. Okay, it was like basically the ETFs just allowing the man in the street to pick up the phone and phone his broker and say, "Hey, put $10,000 on Bitcoin for me." Because I mean, how many people are out there, Sean, that they don't have the time or the inclination to figure out how to put a Bitcoin wallet together? And for them, it's a lot easier just to pick up the phone their broker and say, put $5,000 or $10,000 on Bitcoin for me. So that's the power of an ETF. And I think that's what pushed the price up to 70,000. And then we saw a new local bottom now over the last couple of weeks, which I, there's a part of me that believes it will probably be the lowest that we will ever see Bitcoin again. Okay, maybe as low as in the 50 range, but the chance of buying Bitcoin below 50, I think it's minimal in like even into the future, because the bull run that comes after the halving usually comes between 6 and 9 months after halving's taken place and continues for months after that. We haven't hit that phase yet because the halving was what, 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
Yep.
It wasn't that many blocks ago. So I think where we're going to go from here is into a bull run. And like, I'm not offering people advice here. I'm just sharing my thoughts. Like in no way, shape, or form is this financial advice. I'm just telling you. I'm sharing with you, Sean, my buddy, what I think is going to happen. And I think that we're gonna continue seeing a climb through 2025 and breaking all old records. And we're gonna see some coins completely being left behind. A lot of the altcoins are not gonna do what a lot of people expect them to do. A lot of the focus is going to be on some of the bigger coins, and we're going to see a lot of outflow from some of those from some of the altcoin projects into the more established mainstream um, top coins. Things like Solana, Cardano, I don't know. Dot still has a good chance. Dot and Kusama got a good chance, I believe. A lot of people speak about Tezos as being a bit of a sleeping giant. I don't know, but there's going to be a lot of renewed interest into some of the more well-known things like Solana, because Solana's got an amazingly huge ecosystem. They're all over the NFT space. Meme coins are big on Solana. So I think that money is going to be flowing from a lot of these altcoin projects into things like Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. And we're going to be seeing prices that people never realized that could be possible. That's what I think. I could be totally wrong. I could be lying through my teeth. What's your thoughts, man? Like, you got a prediction?
I mean, historically speaking, what you said is pretty accurate if we look back on the previous bull runs, is we've seen all-time highs for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and most of the other altcoins. But I think at some point we're going to have what's called a utility bull run or an adoption bull run where these technologies finally get utilized to do what they're designed to do.
Mm,
Because right now, again, like we're still in the very early phases of development. The technologies, it's just being tested. Like the big money is just barely starting to test this stuff. I mean, the first real estate transactions happened over the blockchain not too long ago, over Ethereum with a crypto project called Proppy. The first promissory note just got facilitated over the blockchain over the XDC network, Zinfin XDC, which is an international trade finance focused project. So we start seeing more of the financial instruments that you primarily are only used by like big banks and hedge funds and big financial institutions. They're starting to use this stuff, so we're probably going to see more promissory notes, more real estate transactions. We're probably going to start seeing um, stocks, bonds, and securities being tokenized and put on the blockchain. We're probably going to start seeing negotiable instruments being facilitated over the blockchain. We're probably going to start seeing more more legal documents like trusts and LLCs being minted onto the blockchain. We're
mm,
going to see a lot of stuff that normally involves a lot of paperwork and a lot of middlemen transitioning over to the blockchain, where it's going to cut out a lot of these middlemen. And then just take something like XRP, for example, which is used as a supposed to be used as a cross-border bridge asset to help move money around the world at the speed of light without all the liquidity issues that exist within our current financial infrastructure. Like all that stuff that I just described, like that's barely even being used right now. So, and when globally, if you ever go on the Visual Capitalist and look up all the money's markets, or all the world's monies and markets in one visualization, then you can kind of see how much wealth is out there that can potentially be tokenized, put on the blockchain, and just moved around the world. You'll see how tiny cryptocurrency really is, and you'll see that barely anyone is even using this stuff yet. But it is designed to move quadrillions of dollars worth of value. And in not just currency, we're talking about all kinds of different assets. Again, currency is just the tip of the iceberg. We're talking stocks, bonds, securities, negotiable instruments, promissory notes, all kinds of stuff can be tokenized and put on the blockchain. And when this adoption happens, we're talking hundreds of trillions, eventually even quadrillions of dollars being moved across these blockchains and across these distributed ledgers. So when that happens, in my opinion, we may see some of these digital assets, go up during a bull run and then stay up because they're actually being utilized now to facilitate like trillions of dollars a day in volume. So that's just one prediction I have, is that some of these projects are going to go up and they're going to stay up. And my other prediction is that 99% of the cryptos out there, also known as altcoins, because I think now there's close to 30,000 different cryptocurrency projects out there. I think 99% of them are going to go to zero and never recover because they don't really have a utility. They're either a meme coin or some Joe
yeah.
Schmo just decided to create it for fun. Because I mean, again, like that's what crypto is designed to do. It's designed so that anyone can go on the internet and create their own economy, their own payment networks, in a way that's decentralized. And again, like it's so easy now. I mean, people, you could almost go. I mean, you can go on like an AI platform like Chat GPT and say, "Hey, Chat GPT, write me up a smart contract for an Ethereum token," and boom, it'll just generate you the smart contract, and you can almost just copy paste, plug and play. So you don't even need to know how to do computer programming now to start creating your own cryptos. So that's my prediction. What do you think?
I think you're spot on. So the these are an issue, and I really do think it's an issue. It's these meme coins, like they get under my skin, and it started with Doge or Doge. I don't know how people want to pronounce it, but to me it's Doge because it's based off the Doge meme. And like the guy that started as a joke, and it got traction, and it's a super traded joke coin. And since then, there've been tons and there's bonk, and then there's like all these weird and wonderful meme coins that have absolutely zero utility. You can't use them for anything. You use them for one thing and one thing only, is to say I own some. That's it, and nobody cares, right? Nobody cares except for those people within that little ecosystem. And if your coin hasn't got any utility and can't be used for anything, and there's no ecosystem that you can use your coins to spend on a service or a product or something that is tangible, your coin's going to zero, because it can't be used for anything else other than bragging rights. Because that's what you're buying, really. When you buy one of these meme coins, you're buying bragging rights to say, well, I hold this meme coin. Who cares, man? Like, there's so many meme coins out there. Like, I've dabbled, and then you realize, man, this is such a joke. It's a pure gamble. And sure, you can make calculated gambles, you could snipe them, you could spend a lot of time doing that. But I mean, there's so many pump and dumps based around a lot of these meme coins. At the end of the day, they mean nothing, and they're not going to be around in a year or two. Okay. And and a lot of people end up getting burnt. But you take something like Bitcoin has not only mass appeal, right? Everybody knows what Bitcoin is. I don't know of a single person that does not know what Bitcoin is today. Whereas back then, when I was trying to orange pill people, no one wanted to speak to me or hear about this internet money that I was, trying to tell them about. But today everybody knows Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's got universal appeal. It's got utility. It's used to move mass amounts of money. Together with side chains, it's an unstoppable force. So tell me, why do we need any of these other coins that do absolutely nothing?
That's a very good question. And in my opinion, we don't. I think a lot of these projects, the coin is just a way for them to raise capital. But I mean, unless it has a real utility and it solves a problem in our current economy, there's really no need for it. I mean, again, like you can go on these blockchains like Ethereum or Solana, and you could just make a funny token with your name on it and put a silly picture of your face as the logo, and like it's out there and it'll work. It'll send, you can receive, you can store it in your wallet, but it doesn't really do anything. So again, that's why I believe that 99% of the cryptos out there, they're just going to go to zero and become worthless. So, I mean, I place most of my bets on what's called a utility token or a utility
Utility
project.
tokens, yeah, I get you, I get you. So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of utility tokens that, sort of mid 2017 that I started looking at very, very seriously, believing that a lot of these coins are going to do super, super well because they come with a lot of promised utility, and they were going to be game changers and all the rest. Sadly, also a lot of those have gone because they probably took too long to execute um, the project. So I'll give you a perfect example. There was a coin called Golem. No idea how it's doing today. But the whole idea, what they were trying to create is they were trying to create a massive network where the computing power would be used to render large scale videos and stuff like that they would be using in movie industries. All right. Probably something that you would know about. And it just never got traction. But the idea made sense. Okay, so you as a user, all right, you would sort of borrow your computer's power, um, kind of like hash rate, kind of like supplying hash to their network, but it would be used collectively with other computers to then generate or regenerate or to do these videos. Um, but whatever happened with that project? Because it sounded awesome. It really sounded like an awesome idea, but sadly, maybe they took too long to market, or I don't know. But yeah, without utility, a coin is absolutely worthless. And please tell me what utility something like Dogecoin. I don't know. Would you call it Doge or Doge?
I usually call it Dogecoin.
Okay,
I'm
so
not sure if
Dogecoin.
that's the right way to pronounce it, but that's how I hear everyone else pronouncing it. And where
I
I'm,
know, and I'm like, is this like mass weirdness? Because it is based off the original meme before it was a coin was about a dog, and he was known as a dog. It was Doge, like this Shiba Inu Doge, and it was the Doge meme. Um, uh, After the call, I'll look for some of the original um memes based around the Doge. But you tell me one utility that it has.
I can't think of any utility that it has. I mean,
Best
other,
perform.
I mean, and I don't even know if this is considered a utility, but it's like a fun gambling kind of thing that people just like to gamble and for fun. I mean, if you consider that a utility, I don't, but
No,
yeah, I mean, it doesn't really do anything. But here's the thing: it has so much brand awareness that I have to ask, well, could a utility possibly be built into this thing because it has such a massive brand awareness? It's like it would be dumb not to build some kind of utility into it. I mean, I don't know.
wasn't Elon Musk looking to do something with Dogecoin? I mean,
There's
he
been a
was
lot
like,
of rumors about that. Yeah, I mean,
no,
Elon
I mean,
mentioned.
he was still tweeting about it. So, uh, yeah, like maybe with a little bit of direction, it could be something useful. So just like Bitcoin is the original, granddaddy of crypto, right? Dogecoin is like the granddaddy of the meme coins.
Yep.
And in my opinion, anything that is not Bitcoin is it's not all that great. And anything that is not Dogecoin is it's kind of crap.
Yeah, it's an
Because
interesting thing because you look at the US dollar or any paper money that's fiat money that's printed by the bank, it doesn't really have a utility. It's not backed by anything. It's just paper, but the human collective consciousness has agreed that we will accept this as payment. So it's almost like, well, who's to say that the human collective will or will not do the same with something like Dogecoin? I mean, if people agree unanimously that it's a medium of exchange, then it works. But so I know it's just a
yeah,
really weird dynamic because now we're getting into like people the belief systems and people having faith in certain currencies. So if you ask me, I mean, even something like Dogecoin, I mean, to me, Dogecoin is better than the United States dollar because I can self custody Dogecoin in my private key wallet, and I can send Dogecoin across the internet at the speed of light without third party intermediaries. But I can't really do that with the U.S. dollar. But everyone's still
no,
using the U.S. dollar, so it's a really interesting dynamic when you start going down these rabbit holes when you get into just people's consciousness and beliefs that they have in certain payment networks and certain types of money.
no, sure. But here's the thing. Think of the worst possible crypto project coin token that you know of. Like the absolute worst. You can pull out whatever you want.
I mean, there's been so many like scam tokens and like ICO scams in 2017. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. So all those scam tokens that were based off Ethereum. But okay, let's take
Yeah.
a look at something really arbitrary like Stellar. Okay. I actually kind of like Stellar, so maybe not that. Hmm. Let's just hop onto Coin Market Cap because I'm about to tell you something here. Let's see. Coin Market Cap. And then I'm just going to sort randomly and see some weird ass coin. Uh, Algorand. Apparently it's something, but I don't know. To me, it's just another weird altcoin, right? So Algorand. Now, I'm probably going to a lot of people hating me on this, but Algorand, which is like quite a nondescript coin, it's been around for a while. I may have bought and sold some at some point, but this to me is not a good crypto. Like, not many people know about it, but it still works way better than any type of fiat currency. And this is, potentially a bad coin, a terrible coin, if you will. But even the worst possible crypto still outperforms fiat hands down.
Yep.
It's mental. It's absolutely mental that the worst crypto that we could think of can outperform and is better than our best fiat.
Yeah. It's crazy dynamic, right?
It is. It really, really is. But hey, listen, Sean, let's keep some content for our next one. I think this was a good introduction to Crypto Uncensored. So yes, guys, if you enjoyed the session with Sean and I, tune in for our next one. We'll be having discussions like this all the time. I think what we're going to do is also have a look at the news and explain things so that in a way that people can understand. The whole idea is to try and get the word out there and help people sort of get to grips. What do you say, Sean?
Sounds like a plan.
I'm all for it. All right, folks. Till next time.